Okay, so let's dissect a little bit more about what happens when an empire starts growing. It's like bacteria. It's like human civilization. Let's not judge what happens. Let's just see how this bacteria works. Empires, when they start growing, when they start building, when they start expanding, it's a natural behavior for them to acquire more resources because they have to feed its own animal. They have to feed its own belly. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if it's good or bad. I know your face. You're looking at me like it's
natural. I don't think that's. Natural. That's a bit of a stretch, but
yes,
we will say that is the nature of what has become the beast.
Yes, like my wording. This is why I respect the fact that you're here to specifically understand the words because
He's sweet, huh?
Thank you so much.
This guy.
Coming back to the point, let's not get distracted because this is very important to watch because this is what the main cause of the cancer is. When expansion happens, we need more resources to feed in to this hungry belly of this empire, and that leads us to acquire stuff from other civilizations. What happens if you go and ask another person to give them what they have? They're not going to just give it to you. That leads to what?
War, of course.
Okay, now how do we deal with war? Now, there's a dichotomy of war right now in the 21st century and a dichotomy of war at that point because right now, war is economically beneficial to be, if you see it in the policies and in the production of items and shipbuilding and in the arms, because we produce that stuff and if there is a war, we sell it to the people.
But see, that is where we get misconstrued because that is not actually the case. War is not beneficial when you're at home.
In the long run.
It's your war. If you're fighting in that war, that's not beneficial. If there's another group of people at war and you are sending your goods and your products to them and then they send you back money or gold, then there is benefit. But if you are actually at war, you are going to lose. And so the same thing is true with Athens, and we see it happening here in the United States, but it happened long time ago.
Specifically 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, okay, specifically 5,000 years ago. My bad. But you know what? It happened. And we saw it. And what came to be was that we had to then go into a realm of deficit spending, right? And so the gold that was in Athens, because they had a surplus of it then, what they decided is we don't have enough. So they debased their gold with 50% copper so that when they were taking a tax of 1,000 coins from an individual, now when they put 50% copper into it, they can produce 2,000. Well, then there's a problem with that.
That is deficit spending.
That is deficit spending, but there is a problem. The problem is now people start to realize that this copper or money lookalike, gold lookalike, isn't really worth anything at all, right? Sort of like the US dollar. Isn't really worth anything at all. So people say, you know what, I'm going to just spend that and I'm going to keep the actual gold in my pocket. I'm going to save that. And that is called Gresham's Law. When you save the thing that's rare and you give away the thing that is not so rare. And so we saw it 5,000 years ago, and it's happening today.
And what happens at that point is that when the people are not spending enough gold, the gold is not circulating in the economy.
Right.
So there is demand that is increased in the economy for gold, and if the copper coins are based on gold, now the copper coins value is going down because there's a lot more of copper coins in the marketplace and the gold is not there. Therefore, the value, inflation.
Absolutely.
And this is exactly what happened, hyperinflation. They dragged their economy into hyperinflation, and then that was the disaster end of Athens. Never ends very well.
Never does. And so we see the reoccurrence of it happening now. And so there will be a very, very, very large wealth transfer. You must be prepared for that. And the only way for you to get prepared is to start educating yourselves. Just like you educate yourself to go to school to be a doctor or a teacher, you need to educate yourself on money if you want to be successful. And so we will be here every Monday to inform you.
To inform you about the history of money and currency. We love doing this. And Also, we come in Thursdays with political Thursdays with a massive amount of, like we will dissect, policies that has to do with economy, foreign aids, how this thing works. We'll share it with you. It's up to you what you want to do with it.
Absolutely. So, there's one thing I gotta let you know before we go. I'm CJ, and this is my main man Moy, and you're on Money Mondays. Till next time.